Heading into Napa Valley wine country, we stopped at the Chamber of Commerce to get maps and free wine tasting tickets. Our first stop at Cosentina Tasting Room, well known for its barrel fermented Chardonnay and Cabernet Franc wines. Cake bread sellers brought our first opportunity to see the early fall harvest in progress, as white grapes are the first to be hand-picked from the vines. Cake bread creates Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and Merlot wines. Like most wineries in California, has a selection of reserve bottles that are offered only at the winery, not to be found in stores anywhere. Among the library wines held back for additional aging, a 1986 Cabernet Sauvignon at $100 per bottle. Robert Mondavi is one of the large wineries of the Napa Valley, whose wines are well known and distributed to the East Coast. These premium wines can be found on the shelves of local grocery stores and ordered by the bottle in most good restaurants. Group tours of the fields and winery are offered at select times each day, and for which there is a charge at the Mondavi Winery. Selection of wines available in the gift shop is second to none. Among the small family-run wineries on our tour was Prager Portworks, operated by a father and two sons. The family makes Cabernet Sauvignon and a Napa Valley port wine. If you prefer not to drive, there is the popular wine train that departs daily from Old Town Napa and visits several of the major wineries in the valley. Lunch and, of course, many fine wines are offered as you ride the rails. Lunchtime on our first day in wine country finds us at the V. Satui Winery, which has an outdoor picnic area and store with a deli. We purchased homemade French-style breads, cheeses, and meats to go along with what else? A bottle of wine. V. Satui is one of the many family-owned wineries in Napa Valley, California, which is now operated by the fourth generation and continues a tradition of winemaking that began more than 100 years ago. Our next stop along the Napa Wine Trail is Sequoia Grove in the Rutherford District, which is renowned for Cabernet Sauvignon grapes. Sequoia is a 24-acre estate founded in 1980 by James and Steve Allen and is best known for Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon estate reserve wines. Behringer's is among the oldest vineyards in Napa, which opened its doors to public tours of the historic underground aging cellars more than 50 years ago. Behringer's was also first to open its reserve tasting room. I'm at Behringer Vineyards here in St. Helena, California. It's one of my favorite vineyards. This is Liz reporting for Four Seasons Travel. The second day of our wine country California trip finds us prepared to head out on the trail again. After overnighting in Santa Rosa, we're ready to taste the wines of the Sonoma Valley. Somewhat newer and with fewer wineries than the neighboring Napa Valley, Sonoma, just the same, has a world-class reputation for its wine production. We start with a visit to the Castle, which is the visitor center and headquarters of the Ledson Estate Winery. Ledson wines are sold only at the winery and in selected restaurants. Ledson specializes in Merlot that is produced entirely from grapes grown on the 14-acre estate vineyard. A wine tasting room on the main floor of the Castle Visitor Center, which also contains a second floor reserve room where limited bottlings are sampled. Landmark is another small winery located in the Kenwood region of Sonoma Valley and offers a wine tasting room. Kenwood is one of the large winemakers of Sonoma and produces both red and white grape varieties that can be found on store shelves nationwide. French oak wood barrels, costing about $700 each, are used in the special aging process and are generally good for only 2 to 3 years. Wine connoisseurs learn to sniff, swirl, smell before tasting to bring out all flavor. Grapes on the vine in September await an October harvest. At the Kenwood Estate Winery, I'm enjoying the Merlot Estate product. We've just driven up to the Imagery Estate Winery. It does have an art gallery, so I made a particular stop because I do have some interest in art. Their winery, they have an Appalachian Trail. Lots of new grapes are being planted as we make the approach up this hill. Kunde is one of the larger estate wineries in Sonoma that provides visitor tours and allows inspections of the wine barrels as they are being stored and aged underground. The 6 stages of wine tasting are encouraged throughout your wine tasting tour in the California wine country. Learning about wines and grape varieties is a big part of this experience. I've had many wines by Buena Vista and I really enjoy them, so this is a special treat. A historic marker pays tribute to Agustin Harasti, known as the father of the California wine industry. Benziger Family Winery in the Glen Ellen region of Sonoma offers one of the more comprehensive vineyard visits in a very picturesque setting. Much to our delight, even on our departure from Sonoma heading toward the Pacific coast, we found some smaller wineries in the Anderson Valley. Navarro and Hanley Cellars have side-by-side wine tasting rooms.